Welcome back to Texas Top Homes, where home buying, selling, and financing are all simplified. I'm your host, Freeman Sawyer. With me is my co-host, Tracy Wiesman. Today we're visiting with one of Texas top realtors, Krissy Mireles. Krissy, thanks for being on our show today.
Thank you for having me back.
So, Krissy, let's start by talking about buyers for a minute. What would you recommend is maybe the first thing that buyers do before you go out and start showing them homes?
Well, I think the first step, whether you're working with a buyer or seller, is information. First of all, information is power. It allows people to make decisions. But more importantly, with buyers, it's really listening to their needs and finding out what are they wanting? What are their goals? What are they trying to accomplish? Once we can figure out what they want, then we can help them to navigate through that process.
Sure.
But the number one thing, especially in this market with it being so heated, meaning lack of inventory, not enough homes on the market, is if any buyer wants to go out there and start taking a look, they need to have their money lined up. So financing.
Sure.
We're hooking them up with great lenders.
Thank you.
And
Skyline
getting
Home
them,
Loans.
Yes, Skyline Home Loans, and getting them pre-approved. So I think that is probably the number one thing that all buyers need to do in this market today.
Yeah, and I would agree with that. Information's key, right? What other information besides getting pre-approved and knowing what they can afford to buy and what the payment's going to be?
Right.
But, do you do any sort of wants and needs analysis with the buyers?
Absolutely. We're always gauging what is their number 5 have to have or number 1 do not have to have. More importantly, it's all about just prepping them on what to expect in this market. You have to navigate differently in this market as opposed to a buyer's market. They have to be fast and furious. They have to be ready to make decisions quickly, and they have to move accordingly, based on, whatever they'd like to do or whatever information we're telling them.
And if you got, a husband and wife, they both got to be on the same page, right? Because
That's correct.
sometimes they don't have those conversations.
Sure.
We know in the mortgage industry, they haven't really talked through the payment because she's saying we can only go to here, and he's saying, no, I'm comfortable here.
Right.
So you have to have all those conversations.
That's correct. And sometimes their goals don't match. And it's how do we weed out that information so that at least they can somewhat be on an even playing field.
Right.
Yes.
That's why she's in the top 100.
That's right.
Krissy, what's your website and phone number?
It's chrissym.com, and you can reach me at 512-903-1121.